I've been wanting to do a certain video like this for a while, and that is to mainly talk about Tokyo Ghoul, part of the manga, because if people really know, like, some of those videos that I've been doing, I've been a little bit, you know, lazy with not doing some of them, getting them out. Sometimes I've just, like, been missing a chapter here and there. And I feel like I kind of want to address the whole thing about how I've been feeling of recently with Tokyo Ghoul, like, especially. Fucking love Tokyo Ghoul. It's one of my favorites. Nothing will ever take that. This right here, this, I fucking love. I absolutely love this series to death. Don't get me wrong, I love the original Ghoul. However, ever since the series has taken a different turn, a series that I fell in love with, the original Tokyo Ghoul was more about, you know, Kaneki and his tragedy, and obviously since the huge, like kind of like, what the fuck ending of the original, like, I've always been wondering, you know, what's gonna happen next, please do more, and, you know, I was one of the first people out there going, like, Tokyo Ghoul like, oh my god, thank god for a sequel. The main issue that I've had with it, and especially with, like, a lot of the chapters going throughout this, like, there have been some great chapters of I'm getting some of them like 10 out of 10s, 9s, you know, 8, like, a lot of them there, and it's like a very well written story compared to a lot of the other stuff that I really do. Like, this is probably one of, like, out there, it's probably one of the top 2, like, and I'd even say #1 best written stories that I've got on my channel that I talk about. However, it's the matter of fact that one, people forget about it. Yeah, it's a great story, but something that lacks in this series as well is entertainment value as well. Let me explain what I mean. Like, for example, why do I review certain series that are, like, obviously not great stories and, like, you know, not as really, like, that good if you think overall, but, and yet because they're fun, because they're entertainment. Like, I know this is a more of a serious story than others, but even still, the reason why I like Berserk as well, because I really fucking love everything in it, like the action, the stories, the characters. How would you feel if, like, Berserk shook out Guts to, like, a major, huge portion of character? Even though we have got Sasuke, portrayal as the main character really isn't the same from what we've got as of, like, you know, the start of the Ghoul. I liked a lot of, like, what was going on through Kaneki for the start of it, how he became like an innocent little boy, changed kind of like into a monster, and now he's kind of like, he's amnesia, he's kind of back to that same area, but he's like, it's not focusing on him like it has, it's been mainly focusing on the inspectors. And even though, I mean, I'll say, like, those few chapters that we had after the Aogiri arc that were focusing a little bit more on the inspectors a little bit, yeah, they were, like, a little bit but they were still really enjoyable. The issue is that, like, Suishida has been, like, introducing so many new characters of the investigators, this one, Kijima, like, some of, like, you know, Kane, like, and some of the new characters are really cool. Like, I like a bunch of, like Sasuke's, like, investigators that he's got with him. I love, like, his little crew and all that, but there are just way too many characters that I'm just generally not interested in. The main reason I fell in love with Tokyo Ghoul is because, like, he's, like, all of them, like, out there, like, fucking, I love Tsukiyama as well. Like, I think Tsukiyama's, like, one of my favorite characters in the entire series, and, like, even though he's just, like, he's been an absolute wreck in the series, and he's only really just as returned recently back to his normal self, like, even still, I wanted to focus more on him, and it's like, no, we'd rather you focus on it. And even when we have been, he hasn't really been doing anything of real interest. I mean, a lot of the thing that is with and I've come to accept, is that a lot of it's build up, and a lot of it's obviously just going to be focusing on, like, the whole political side of the investigators. And, like, you know, I really enjoy Hunter x Hunter, and Hunter x Hunter has that stuff as well, with, like, especially the election arc. But, like, does that make a good entertainment? No, it just makes for, like, you know, progression of story. And another thing I've got to say as well, if we compare this to the original Ghoul, we're, like, what, as this video is being made, like, 39 chapters, 39. During that, what has happened in the series? We've had Kaneki, like, like, with Toka, like, having the whole clash as well with, like, Tsukiyama. Like, I think it was, like, that's when, like, the whole basement stuff, like, kind of happened, when you had, like, everyone in, like, sort of, like, the gourmets, like, trying to attack him with that big fucking monster with, like, the bone saw and stuff, like, that sort of stuff happening. And not to mention as well, like, other stuff are going on throughout as well, like the inspectors, like, you get to see with, like, Hinami's, like, you know, parents as well. Like, a lot of stuff happened through, like, the first, but then is when we go to I mean, there's been some awesome moments. There's been, you know, like, Sasuke kind of losing and almost becoming Kaneki as well, and the whole thing about him having 2 different personalities, and, like, there's a lot of stuff that's interesting. But I think it's just the fact that it felt, the way that it's changing to it, like, going more into the inspectors, going more on the case route, and it's just, like, it doesn't really work for me like that as it originally thought it would. And, like, that's the thing, I still think it's a good manga. It's just, thought I'd just explain to you guys why I've kind of not been as hyped for it as I was, because I remember, like, getting onto Tokyo Ghoul, I was like, yes, 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 everything's so fucking cool, I love everything. But it's like, I guess that's the main reason. Like, I just don't like kind of the change. It's a hard word to explain, but tone, is it the word that I'm looking for? Or is it maybe it's just like different path that it's going for? It's a very hard thing to describe, but not that I hate Tokyo Ghoul at all. I don't hate it. I think it's because I love it so much that I point out more the flaws with the series. I point that without every single series I do. I point out the flaws in them, and Tokyo Ghoul's got one huge flaw, and it's just like, I hate to use the word, a lot of it's been boring. I honestly, like, most of the time I find that a lot of the Inspector stuff, like, the pacing has been, like, as well, just grinded down. It's sad to admit, but it's like, if I don't do a chapter here or there, then you might know why. And it's like, honestly, I don't want to just force myself just to talk about chapters, and, you know, I know there's a lot more deeper meaning to some of them as well, but let's be honest, guys, like that. We're kind of in the here and now, and it's like we want to be focusing on Kaneki's story. That's, at least for me personally, I want to focus on his story, not the investigators, none of the other motherfuckers. Give me Toka, give me Kaneki, give me Hinami, Banjo, Tsukiyama, Uta, Period, like Eto, all of them, Aogiri Tree. Those are the people I want to focus about, not the investigators, because who's the one person I cared about in the investigators? Apart from like, you know, Amon's partner was Amon himself, and like, you know, Mado. Like, so, I don't know, let me know in the comment section down below, okay? Do you think I'm being cruel to Tokyo Ghoul? Honestly, like, but I love it, guys, I really do. It's just, I've got issues with it, so many. So yeah, I mean, I definitely do want to keep talking about this weekly. I do love it, but it's like, if you're gonna see me skip a chapter here and then just kind of don't, like, kind of know a reason why. It's either A, I'm lazy as fuck, or 2, I didn't care too much about the chapter. But that's all for me, so thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.